Tweet us at BBC Tees. Now, the talent that we have in our patch is amazing. And I think if you just even listen to a slither of BBC Radio Tees, you can't help but go, wow, there's some amazing people doing great stuff. And that's what's great about this job. We can get to amplify it and go, look what these do. Look at the amazing people. Whatever you're in. And we love to shout about it on BBC Radio Tees. We like a proud auntie. We really, really are. Next person, huge talent. One for the future. And comes from our neck of the woods. Rebekah Young, local singer, songwriter, based in Teesside, is an amazing, amazing artist. What a vocalist. And I caught up with her yesterday to talk about the new single she's got coming out, which is Tender, and her EP, which is due out later this month.
I grew up listening to a lot of different tunes, really. Like, my dad is a very, the Jam, Sex Pistols kind of guy, so we would listen to a lot of alternative bands back in the day, like the 70s and stuff. But then, I really found my own, kind of music, which was really, 90s hip-hop, rap, soul, R&B. So artists like Lauryn Hill, Brandy and stuff like that. But also I love Amy Winehouse. So I guess it's a load of different genres kind of mixed into one. But yeah, it definitely has influence from everything I used to listen to growing up.
Because the thing that cut through for me, not only your vocals, which are just absolutely amazing, is that wonderful Wurlitzer piano sound, which is just, it's comfort food for the musical ear and so well produced. Yeah. How do you write your music?
My producer, his stage name is Tilo, but his real name's Tolu. He's amazing at just mixing and finding sounds that work really good together. He did all of my tracks that even going to be on that EP when I finally release that. Yeah, he's kind of mixed things together, see what sounds right. And he's massively influenced by hip-hop and rap and all that kind of stuff. So I guess, just from his ear, we both have the same kind of sound for what we really like and how we create music together as well.
How important is that you find, a musical sort of soul partner?
I think it's very important. I'm just a singer. I don't play any instrument, really. I'm very, aware of what musically sounds really good, but unfortunately I can't actually play it myself. So it's important to have someone alongside me who equally is musically talented in what he can hear and what he can work out will sound right, but just experimenting as well. But also it's so good to have someone who has the same kind of attribute to music that you do, that loves it and wants to create something different as well.
Sounds great. Talk me through your musical career.
I grew up in Middlesbrough. I'm a Middlesbrough lass, born and bred. And I was part of Middlesbrough Youth Theatre. Shout out to them, because a lot of my singing and even into other things like acting and dancing was grown in confidence through being in a theatre school. And I've always loved singing. It's been a massive thing for me and my family as well. So even just that in itself was I really love this. I really want to do it as an actual profession, but I know so many people who have tried, or so many people who have gone into it and just got burnt out because it was too much for them to continue with. So I kind of let that dream fade away. And then when I met Tolu, he was like, you know what, I could literally make such a good EP for you. Honestly, I really want to produce a singer. This would be amazing. And I was just hang on a minute, even though we might not be rolling in money, we might not be finding every opportunity to do a gig, if you enjoy it, just go for it. If you're willing to put some money into that, on Spotify or Apple Music, just do it, and don't be afraid to be yourself as well. Just enjoy music in whatever way that you enjoy it.
Where are you based now, Becca? Are you still in Middlesbrough?
I'm in Middlesbrough currently, just obviously with lockdown and stuff, but I'm actually moving to London this month. So I'm moving to London to pursue singing a bit more, get better networking, but Middlesbrough will always be my hometown. I'll always come here, hopefully, for if I'm doing a gig or something like that. I'd love to come back.
We hear a lot with BBC Introducing with Rianne on a Saturday night at BBC Radio T. I hear so much amazing talented music. How difficult is it for a musician like yourself to actually cut through and make that next step up, to be up on the platforms, to be that multi-million selling artist? What's that journey like?
It is definitely a hard one. I've seen quite a lot of things dotting about on social media recently where it's like fame or whatever it is, success that you want to get into looks so attractive when you don't have to put the work in. But when you see how much work is behind the closed doors, you know, how much time that you've lost not being with your family, but rather like creating a song. And even in lockdown, I think that's where we really had the privilege to create and experiment more. And it wasn't, you know, a deadline of like, we need to create a song by the end of this week. It was, we have the whole of lockdown and we've not got work or normal life around us to distract us. So in this sense, it was very easy for us to create something we were happy with. But equally, it takes so much guts and so much self-confidence and understanding of like, actually, how do you see your music, and just going with your gut in that. No matter how many times someone says they don't like it, you feel like a lot of rejections come in, you just go for it regardless.
How has lockdown been for you? I get the sense that there has been that little positive for you where you have been able to analyse the music you're doing and sit down and go through it in a considered manner so that you know that it's right before it actually gets set onto the world. It's
been a difficult one. I've recorded a few bits and bobs previously to doing this track, but I'd never really gone in and done an EP or an album or anything. So this was my first experience of recording, first experience of creating music on a professional level. And it was so much easier to do that because of lockdown. And I'm a Christian, so I'm like really grateful to God for giving us the time, because as much as it was like a bad situation, I feel like I could have made the most out of it because I had so much time to create, to make music, and to just say what was really on my heart. I know for me and my family, our granddad passed away in lockdown, so this was a kind of an ode to him as well. Like, on the EP that I've got releasing, like the last track is about him. So I guess it's definitely explaining how I'm feeling, the emotions that I've gone through in lockdown, but obviously previously before life changed anyway. But this was a really good coping mechanism for me to just create and see what happens.
I don't know what it must be like to be a singer, because, you know, guitarists or drummers or keyboard players, they've got something in front of them. You know, there's that little thing between you and the audience. For you, it's just you. How does that feel as a vocalist? Do you feel a bit naked?
It is definitely like a vulnerable part of you, not only if you're singing about something that you've actually went through, but also, you know, if you crack a note, everyone can hear it. And I think that was for me, like growing up, I was very private about my voice, because I was like, well, this is something that I believe I've been given, and I don't know if I do want to share it with people because it's so personal. And I think that's the crazy thing about singing. Like, you know, most people, like, I would jump onto a karaoke because it's just a laugh, isn't it? But when it's creating music, creating something that has a message alongside it as well, it's so much more vulnerable. And it's definitely been a process for me to like either take compliments or to even just listen to my music without kind of cringing or feeling awkward about it. But yeah, it's definitely a process.
A real talent, I want to watch for the future. Really, really is. Rebekah Young there, the new song Tender. It's now you can get it via Apple Music or Spotify. A new EP, Sometimes Shooting Stars at Aeroplanes, is out on the 28th of September. You heard it here first on your BBC Radio Tees. You got a story, you want to tell us about it? You know somebody equally as talented